Welcome back. Debbie Kelly is joining us now from the Special Olympics of Illinois. And so we want to talk about what a huge difference things like the Polar Plunge make to so many people.
That's correct. We have Special Olympics Illinois is very fortunate to have such a great relationship, as many Special Olympics states are, with the law enforcement agencies and the torch run. We obviously have funding through all different kinds of fundraisers, special events, donors, but the partnership we have between law enforcement and Special Olympics is just fantastic, and it enables us to provide so many more activities and funding to our Special Olympic athletes.
Because how many athletes in Illinois take part in this every year?
There's 20,000 athletes in the state of Illinois that participate in Special Olympics, but in Area 1, which is where we are, in the Rockford, the 9 counties of the northwest corner of the state, there's 1,453 registered right now.
Wow.
So we're very large, and we're very fortunate to have such great participation.
That's huge. What kind of sports are there in the Special Olympics?
Actually, and people tend to think of us just being the traditional track and field events or the Winter Games, the events that are most focused on. But we actually offer competition in 14 different sports right now, and at every different level. So we'll offer at an area level, then they'll advance to a district, then to a state, and then a very selected few will go on to national or world games. So it's really exciting. We offer everything from golf, bocce, aquatics, equestrian.
Wow.
Yeah, volleyball, softball. So we have a wide range. And Rockford actually, the Area 1 actually hosts 2 different state competitions. There's only 7 state competitions throughout the state, and 2 of them are hosted in our area. The Winter Games, of course, at Chestnut, and then Rockford, we host the Fall Games, which are going to be equestrian and volleyball, and they'll be hosted at in Rockford.
Okay, for parents or maybe for people who are older who are interested in getting involved,
yes.
How do you become a Special Olympics athlete?
Okay, lots of times your school district will work with you, and that's the best scenario to start out. But if you don't have a school that is participating in Special Olympics right now, that's not a problem. You can always give me a call. My phone number is 815-288-2939, or look on our website, which is specialolympicsillinois.org, and you can find the area. If you don't live in Area 1, if you live in McHenry, it shows a complete map of the whole state, so you can find where you need to be, and we can get you started. You have to have an intellectual disability to participate in Special Olympics, in traditional Special Olympics. We have unified sports, we have other things, but to be a traditional Special Olympic athlete, you have to have an intellectual disability.
Okay, so there are lots of opportunities to get involved.
There's lots of opportunities.
Would you say that this relationship with law enforcement then is one of your biggest sources of funding?
Oh, absolutely, yes. They're our biggest sources of funding, and it's not just funding. They support volunteer, they support our athletes in so many different ways. Coming to the different events, it's really cool to watch some of our young athletes look at the cops, and here they are, doing all these great things and running the torch in, and yeah, it's a wonderful match.
So this is my question for each of you to answer then. What kind of response have you gotten from the athletes when you go out to some of these events?
The most interesting thing for me, my first summer games down at ISU, I was putting a gold medal on this athlete, and he jumped off of the podium into my arms because he was so excited about it, and his family was just ecstatic, and the big grin on his face. And it's neat for law enforcement where you actually have these athletes and family members coming up to you and hugging you. Not shaking your hand, they're hugging you and thanking you for being there.
That's so great. What has your experience been?
It's just so much fun. We go to the Winter Games every year, and just getting to know some of the athletes and see them every year and how they progress to bigger and better events, and just get to know them. And they're your friends, and you get a hug every time you see them. And I tell you, throughout the course of the entire year, that is my favorite week of the year, is going out to Galena. It's that much fun.
That's so great. Well, let's bring up the information again. If people want to make donations for the Polar Plunge, which is coming up this Saturday, they can go check out your Facebook page, right? And you'll have a link on there?
Yes.
Okay, and what do they need to search on Facebook?
Just search Illinois State Police District 16. Check out on our wall, and we'll have a link where they can make a donation.
Perfect, and I've got my own personal Twitter up there too, because we're just trying to get this to you in whatever way is easiest for you. So if Twitter's your game, then just check me out at Jeannie Hayes on Twitter, and I'll have the link posted there as well. Now for Special Olympics, you also are looking for volunteers, right?
Always.
What age range of volunteers are we talking?
We actually try to take people 13 years old and older. We do take some of the grade schools because we like the kids to start early and be exposed to Special Olympics and be involved, but sometimes there's behavior problems and parents there, and it just works out easier if we usually have teenagers. So we usually start with 13.
Well, it seems like a great project then for high schoolers to get
Absolutely.
involved in.
Yes.
What are some of the opportunities available if high schoolers out there, or parents, if you're looking to get your high schoolers involved in something positive, what are some of the things they can get involved in?
Besides the Polar Plunge, which we actually do have a couple of high school teams that are competing,
Oh, cool.
as the law enforcement are.
And it's not too late to get involved, right?
Not too late to get
Teenagers out
involved.
there, if you want to do something fun,
Yeah.
you can sign
Anybody, there's no age limit for the Polar Plunge. If you are under 18, you do have to have a parent's waiver signed.
Okay.
So that's the only guideline. But other than that, I think the youngest we've had is 6. So there's been little ones.
Wow.
But besides that, we do have a lot of different things. We have, like I mentioned, the Young Athlete Program with the Rockford Public Schools. We have 2,500 2 to 7-year-olds that we're looking for volunteers to help for that activity. We have our big spring games, which is at Harlem High School on May 5th, and that involves track and field, soccer, and a Young Athlete Program. We'll have about 1,000 athletes there that day for a one-day huge competition.
It seems like as a teenager, this would be a good, not only a good personal experience, also a good resume builder as you're starting to look at college and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And then adults can get involved too, right?
Oh yes, definitely. And it's a great family event if you're looking for something to do as a family. It's really fun. It's something nice to watch your kids, and you'll be surprised at how much you enjoy yourself.
Okay. What do you think some of the biggest benefits are for teenagers if they want to get involved and volunteer?
I think probably some of the biggest is that they find out that they have a lot more in common with our Special Olympic athletes, and they have a lot more fun than they were anticipating. They might be going because they need the community service hours for high school, or because their parent made them, or whatever, and then they end up having a really good time. Our retention rate of volunteers is just unbelievable. They come back because the athletes are great and they have a great time.
That's so great. So what? There's some other fundraisers that we were talking about before the break that are coming up as well. Where would you say you get your biggest donations from, though? Is that the Polar Plunge?
The Polar Plunge right now is our biggest donation, our biggest raise of funding. Yes, okay. We do other special events, and the Northern Illinois Parrothead Club. They just had an event last night. Great event. We have all kinds of different fundings and civic support. Lots of the Kiwanis and the Knights of Columbus. The Knights of Columbus are huge supporters of Special Olympics. Geico is our statewide sponsor for the Polar Plunge. There's lots of different ways. And of course, individual contributions too. Sure,
and it seems like, I'm sure you guys could back me up on this, it seems like the kind of organization where you get more out of helping than you're giving, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Is that something that you found too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're just talking about volunteers. The whole reason I ever got involved in this, my high school, I went to high school in Warren. Warren High School volunteered every year at the Special Olympic Winter Games. I went 4 years, saw an opportunity, let's get the state police involved. Here we are, got involved in the Polar Plunge. So just by getting involved in high school and having as much fun as I did, you know, here I am several years later, still having fun and raising money for a great cause.
Sure, and is that the message you want to get to high schoolers then?
Absolutely.
Trying to, I mean, because how important is it to get young volunteers involved?
It is, absolutely. And they are our long-range committee members. They are the people that are going to help plan and come up with different ideas. You know, that's what we want.
Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and go over the information one more time. The website is soill.org, right? Yes. And what all can people find on that website?
Actually, there's a general overview of Special Olympics, upcoming dates and competitions throughout the state. So, like I said, even if it doesn't work out for the Rockford area, if you're looking for somewhere else, you can find it. If your kids go to school somewhere else, colleges, wherever, there's all that information on there. There's also information on who's eligible to be in Special Olympics. So if you have a question on that, it's a very, very good website.
Do you find that some people who are just adrenaline junkies go from Polar Plunge to Polar Plunge and just do all of them?
Actually, we have a couple of people. This is our 7th Polar Plunge, and we've had people come and say they're trying to hit everyone in the state.
Wow.
There's 20 Special Olympic Polar Plunges in between February 25th and March 25th. Yeah. 20 throughout the state.
And tomorrow in Chicago, in Northwestern, is the 24-hour Polar Plunge. So people will be plunging in Lake Michigan every hour on the hour.
Wow.
For 24 hours.
Wow. Well, I got to say, I can't even deal with it when my hot water goes out, so I commend you all for doing this. It's such a big deal, but a lot of fun, and it's not too late to sign up. If you missed any of the information, we'll have it for you again coming up at the end of the show. We do have to go. We're out of time, but thank you all so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Support.